G'day YouTube, hope you're having a fantastic day. I thought I'd do a little tour of my Highland section of the greenhouse here. It's a cold, miserable day outside in Sydney, middle of winter still, but nice and warm in here. I think it's currently about 23 degrees and 80% humidity. I'll just zoom you out a bit. And this is my main collection of Highland nepenthes species. I do have a few other species and Highland hybrids up on the benches above, but for now this is where all these live. I thought I'd just go around and show you through them a bit. So you got a nice little flava sitting here. I got a little batch of tissue culture plants a while ago. What was that? Oh yeah, about a year ago now. They've settled in nicely. So you'll see a couple of them come up. A nice Burbigio just settling in there. That's a fairly new plant, so I'm not expecting much from it just yet. Lingulata there. Nice small little plant from Canevro. You can see a second one there. Taliensis just starting to pop there. Just a really nice, cute little species. She got uppers on this one here. This actually flowered female. Unfortunately, I don't think the seeds took. It was possibly a stress flower after the move. A nice little side shoot starting there. But good to know it's a female anyway for future breeding. You'll see my Heliophora also down here. I might do a video on them at some point, but they're loving the Highland temps. So I tend to get about 25 degrees during the day and drops down to 12 degrees at night. I do have plans to build a fridge inside, which I will take you guys along for when I get around to it, which will just allow me to keep the greenhouse a bit warmer for everything else, which doesn't love the cold. What else we got in here? That's actually a bigger Lingulata there. I think, yeah, you can just see the ling in there. I'll try not to break the hellies as I get in there. Of course, all the best pictures are always hardest to get to. Nice jamban. Actually, absolutely love these little wine glass or toilet bowl shaped pictures. And this one is also, I don't think you can see them in there, but there's a couple of basils starting on that. Got my hamata sort of hidden in the back corner. They do not like a lot of light. Got a little bit burnt when I tried turning the light up. This does the light die off to the sides is quite drastic on this. So directly underneath is getting a ton of light, whereas off on the corners and the side over there is where the light starts dying off. And a nice little Raja in there. Of course, I got my big one sitting here. I think there's a new picture hiding back in there. I might have to trim that up soon. Actually, it needs a repot as well. It's definitely outgrowing that pot very quickly. What else have we got in here? A couple of Aristolochoides. Come up front for this one. Again, just an awesome little species. They are pretty slow growing. Had these for a couple of years now, but just a stunning little species. Finally got the moss growing nicely down here as well. That just sits on the, I've got plastic laid over the shelf, you can see, so they just sit there. I'm actually using it to absorb a lot of the water so that the plants aren't sitting in it as much. So I got some nice red moss coming in, which hopefully I can start to cultivate a bit and get to spread it around. It's a lot slower growing than the green moss as I've got. I think you can see there's one big green head in there that I might remove. But fantastic for your slower growing plants and small little seedlings, so it doesn't smother them as much. But check out the shape on this Aristo. It's just super round, super squat, bulbous shape. And a little snail in there. You might be getting fed to it shortly. Try and not knock anything over. Get this back in. See a little tiny glabrata there. A slightly bigger one there. It's settling in. Hamata. Another nice picture back there. It's just opened recently. What else have we got in here? Got some Edwardsiana and Velosa here, just settling in. They're new plants. They got a bit burnt when they arrived, but they're pushing along nicely. This is a seed-grown Trosmatiensis, slowly, very slowly coming along. That's nice to see. You'll notice I've got a lot of Lowii through here. I absolutely love this species, and the hopes of trying to get a male female without any guaranteed clones getting around Australia. I've just had to buy as many as I can find. My big one, best one here from John Yates that I've had for about 5 years now. It's amazing lid bristles. But hopefully in 10 or 12 years I can start getting flowers on these guys and might be able to make some Lowii hybrids, or hopefully pure species. You can see this is a tissue culture one here that just went insane. I think there was about 7 heads on this at one point. I broke one off cleaning up the moss, so it's a rooted cutting, taking it in there. There's another flower there. Diatus, nice and toothy. I think that could possibly take some cooler temps. I think it's sitting up right into the ultra Highland, so that's definitely one that's going to be going into the fridge down the track. This is my jamban, not jamban, jacquilineae here. I tweaked the humidity recently, and all the pictures started opening without their lids, which is a bit annoying. It doesn't seem to like change. I also moved it down from up above. A nice little basil on it there. Attenborii, it's been sulking a bit lately. I think it might be due for a repot. It's not happy with something. Hasn't pitched in a while for me, unfortunately. But Palawanensis next to it is looking super happy. This colours up so quickly with the lights. The new leaf is showing some green, which it moved from about this spot here to there, and that was enough to go from dark purple leaves to a bit more of a green colour. Mollis sitting in here, if I can get to it. It's absolutely stunning. Very slow, this plant. It takes forever to form pictures. Super hairy and just such a cool little species. So Lowii behind that, starting to put on a little bit of size. This one decided to abort its growth tip and just stop dead when I moved last year, and has literally just thrown out these 2 leaves, which are the first growth I've had in over a year on it. It's nice. This little Lowii settled in though. And what else is there? Another little flava. Got some basil shoots from that same TC batch. Tentaculata. Again, a really cool little species there. What's he sitting on? Oh, that little flava was a basil shoot off one of the other ones that fell off during repotting, so gave it its own pot, rooted in there. Yeah, lots of humidity. I do tend to, I spray the sphagnum moss down pretty regularly every day or so, just a light misting just to keep it happy. But the plants I'm trying to keep on the drier side and let them actually dry out between waterings. You can see the lingulata back there, the moss start to look a bit dry. There is actually a pot hiding in that ball of moss. I think it's probably due for a repot. I don't think I've repotted that since I got it. So I might have a look at that later. Yeah, just a nice little Highland tour. Hopefully in the next couple of years a lot of these will start really jumping up in growth and I'll start seeing some bigger, more mature pictures on a lot of them. It does warm up a bit in summer in here. I was getting temps about 28 degrees Celsius through the day, and I could only drop it down to 18 at night, but nothing really seemed to suffer too much. The Diatus and Lingulata were the only two that really slowed down and stopped picturing in those temps. But yeah, I'll see what I can do later this year about setting up a fridge and some cooler temps for the pickier plants, and then we'll also expand some space back into the greenhouse for me to use for other things. You missed the nice lavicola there. Beautiful peristome on it. It's just starting to wind her way back up through there. Yeah. If you haven't yet, jump on, hit the subscribe button and the like. It all helps building up a channel, and if you want to see more videos like this, enjoy. Thanks again.